Oh my god. So, we have some things to talk about tonight, guys. So, Khabib versus Conor. Man, where do I even begin? So, first of all, I just need to go ahead and get through these first few fights because it all happened. The main event is what we need to really talk about, kind of get on. So, we'll start with Derek Lewis getting a last, 10-second knockout to win his fight. I don't remember how to say his name. It starts with a V. I'm not even going to bother. He's like some Russian dude. But I saw this guy fight a couple times. He beat Fabricio Verdum. And so I knew he was pretty good. And Derek Lewis was losing this whole fight. He's getting his ass kicked. And then at the very end, he gets, I think it was a right hand, straight right hand, just knocks him out clean. 10 seconds. 10 seconds left in the fight. So Derek Lewis got a huge dub there. So who would you guys like to see him fight next? I think the only fight that makes sense is probably Stipe, because DC's fighting Brock, but Stipe's probably going to kill this man. Anyways, so that was that. OSP got beat by 10-0 Dominic Reyes. This Dominic Reyes guy is on a rise. He was tagging OSP early, just pretty much outclassed him on the striking, and he ended up. It was kind of controversial at the end. I thought it was a knockout, but Dan Murgliata called it at the end because it was right when the bell rang. So a little controversial there. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that was a knockout? I thought it was a knockout, but too close to call. Dominic Reyes still won the fight clearly. So I think that being a knockout or anything, he still would have won the fight. So Dominic Reyes ended up getting a dub over St. Preux. So I mean, he's probably going to be moving up in the rankings, fighting a top 5 guy next for sure. So watch out for this man. And then the co-main event. This was the fight that I was really looking forward to, despite, of course, the main event. El Cocoy versus Anthony Pettis. Tony Ferguson versus Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis, we all saw he's kind of back on the rise after that drought, after losing the belt. He looked pretty good. He looked good against Poirier, and Poirier's a stud right now. He's on a roll. And he beat Michael Chiesa. So Anthony Pettis has been on the rise, man. So he's looking like his self again, and I was going to see how he was going to do against Tony Ferguson, just coming back from knee surgery. And he looked good. This was a fight, man. I just kind of wish it would have ended a little differently. Pettis broke his hand, and they had to call the fight. Also, his cut was really bad, so I don't know. It was a war, man. I like seeing those bloodbath type of fights. So it was a good fight, and I hope they rematch again because Anthony Pettis did catch him. And he was losing that fight too. He started losing the fight in the end. Tony Ferguson was kind of picking him apart. His footwork's just a little too much. His striking is a little too much for Pettis. But Pettis was hanging on. So I think he's back. I think it's safe to say he's back to his old self, and I would like to see them fight again for sure. I don't want to see Ferguson and Khabib because we all know that fight is cursed. And I don't know what the hell they're going to do with Conor McGregor now, so we'll see what happens there. But now to the main event. Here we are. This is a fight. This is where things got crazy. So Khabib and McGregor fighting. We all saw how the stunt went down, how the whole drama leading up to this fight between Khabib and Conor, their whole teammates, the whole bus scandal thing where Khabib punched Artem Lobov, and then Conor took it the wrong way, got a whole gang, attacked them on the bus, injured a lot of UFC fighters before an event. And we all know Khabib was emotional, but he wasn't showing it as much as he could have. And after this fight broke loose, he showed it all the men. So, first of all, I'm just going to go ahead. Before we get into the whole animosity between these two, I picked Khabib to win. I picked Khabib to beat Conor McGregor. I feel like he's the more complete fighter. The wrestling was going to be too much. Conor was also gone for 2 years almost, basically. So I feel like that this was just stylistically a bad matchup for Conor McGregor. I did feel like I wouldn't have been surprised if Conor was able to catch him early, though, just because we all saw how Khabib looked against Al Quinta, just with his striking game. We all know it's a little weak. We know Conor's good for that left hand, those counter strikes. So I knew that Khabib could have gotten knocked out, but I still picked Conor to get mauled by Khabib. And he pretty much did, man. It kind of played out the way I was going to. Conor, yeah, I'll give it to him. He did 2 years off, so he looked a little rusty. So can't really get mad at him there. But I mean, I kind of knew that it was coming for Khabib. Khabib's just on another level with his wrestling, and Conor did pretty good. He did all he could. His takedown defense got a hell of a lot better, and I think it's because now that he's at 155, he can handle that takedown. He can handle those takedowns. When he's at 145, he's a lot smaller, had to cut a lot more weight, so I feel like that could have been a factor. And being more bigger at 155 and 170 when he fought Diaz, like he was just harder to take it down. He was a lot bigger. So, but Khabib is just Khabib. So I feel like any other guys would have had trouble taking down Conor tonight because his takedown defense is proved. So don't say that Conor don't have no ground game, because I mean, Khabib's just on another level with his wrestling. He trains at Team, a.k.a. with Luke Rockhold and DC. Obviously, DC is one of the best wrestlers in the UFC. If he's not the best, then it's obviously Khabib. So, yeah, I kind of knew it was just a stylistically bad matchup for Conor. But I'm glad that they made it a good fight. 4 rounds. I was hoping. I didn't want to see Conor knock him out early, and I also didn't want to see Khabib finish him early, with a submission or something. It ended up being later in the 4th round. He got the 4th round submission, choked him out, and Conor tapped. So I was expecting it to go the distance, but man, Conor held in as much as he could. So mad respect for Conor. But before we get after the fight breaks down, I feel like the fight of the night for sure was Ferguson and Pettis. I just wish it would have ended things a little differently. I feel like tonight we can all say that we could have wished things would have went a little differently for the end of both fights, but it is what it is. So I mean, I don't know what's next. I don't know what's next for Conor. I don't know what's next for Khabib. I would say Khabib should fight Ferguson, but obviously that fight probably is never going to happen just because it's been booked 4 times and it's been canceled all 4 times because of something. Khabib not making weight, Tony being hurt, so I don't know. 5th time the charm? I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, so after the fight, Khabib, we all knew he was emotional, but he wasn't letting it all out. And I thought that could have been a factor, maybe him getting a little too emotional could have had Conor in his head, just like the Aldo fight, he could have knocked him out early. But he didn't. But after the fight, he was talking shit to Conor, all up in his face, and he immediately after the fight, jumped over the cage into the audience, basically, and he started attacking one of McGregor's, I think it was McGregor's coach. I want to say it was McGregor's wrestling coach. And he just started punching him. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but he did attack one of McGregor's guys. And right here, it just started turning into chaos. Then after that, he started fist fight out of the ring. Security trying to break him up, and then some guy jumps into the ring and starts attacking Conor, defenseless. Who does that, man? Why are you starting all this drama? I understand there was animosity between Conor shouldn't have attacked him during the whole bus, but I just think control yourself, man. You guys are pro athletes. You can't be doing this type of stuff. I just feel like that kind of just ruined the whole thing for me. Yeah, I wanted Khabib to win, and I picked him to win, but just after all that, it just kind of makes me lose respect for him just because of how he handled it. You're a professional, you're the champ, you just beat arguably the best guy, most hype fighter ever, and one of the most accomplished UFC guys ever. Conor McGregor's done so much for the company, so for you to let your emotions get to you and just completely pull a stunt off like that, just for I don't know if you did it for the fame, for the media, it's just totally unnecessary. You should know as a champion to control yourself. You're probably the best lightweight after beating Conor now, and you just ruined the whole thing because pulling that whole stunt. Hey, it was fun to watch, I'll admit, but I just it kind of made me lose respect for Khabib. I don't like the way he handled it, and Conor was humbled in defeat, even though he talked a lot of shit, and yeah, he had it coming, I guess. I mean, a lot of people can say he had it coming. Still, man, Khabib, you should know to be the better man, and if you're gonna start some stuff behind, if you're gonna start crap with him, do it backstage, do it off the ring. Don't do it after the fight where millions of fans are watching, and you're just, people are trying to interview you. It's not good. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I'm not trying to be like a downer and say like that was the worst thing. I just think like it kind of just, if you really look at it from a sports fan, and just as a sports fan and MMA fan, like just like you don't want to see that. Like you want to see sportsmanship after a fight, even like after all that like shit talking leads up to it. Like you got to be humble. You got to be humble, man. And I'm really big on all that stuff, so it just kind of sucked to like, it's just kind of ugly to see all that stuff, but it was still fun to watch. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to see a brawl like that? But like I said, kind of lost a little bit of respect from Khabib, and the kind of the worst part about it was Khabib, after he caused all that drama, he was asking Dana for the belt, to put the belt around him, after Conor McGregor was already escorted out of the whole building at this point, and he was asking for the belt. And Dana White was saying, no, I can't get you the belt because basically someone's going to get hurt. If I give you this belt, they're going to start throwing shit. And on the way out, he had like a whole bunch of cops escorting him out, man. It was crazy, and those Ireland fans get crazy out there, so. But that's it for me, guys. All I got to say, kind of lost respect. Good pay-per-view overall. Most hype fight in UFC, done forever. Glad we got it out of the way. And that's all I really got to say, man. Khabib, champ, congrats. Could have went down a little bit differently. Really wish the Pettis fight could have actually ended. Even though Ferguson started winning in the end there, he started beating him up. He probably would have ended up beating him in the end, but I just wish they would have ended better. So you guys let me know what you think about this event. Overall, fun night. Excited, and I guess it made up for OU losing to Texas State. Kind of sucked. So, peace out, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more UFC content. I do all the pay-per-views and stuff, thoughts and reviews on them. Just giving you all my thoughts, and do NFL picks every Tuesday with some friends. So if you guys want to tune into that, be sure to. And yeah, so peace out, guys. Have a good night.